12 goals in 3 games against Real Madrid. That is job well done from Hansi Flick. That is job well done from Barcelona. They look like they could go on and get yet again another El Clasico win and look like they're going to complete that treble as well when it comes to major trophies. Brilliant. Fabulous matchup, great result. Obviously, not if you're a Madridista out there. Certainly disappointment for you has been very, very disappointing of late. We'll get into that in just a minute. But wow, you got to say congratulations to Hansi Flick. I'm sure that major trophy right now is going to feel so good.
It was never going to be easy against Real Madrid, even though this is now the 3rd time in 3 matches that Barcelona win against their rivals, Real Madrid and El Clasico. But we need to start where the biggest controversy was going into this match. The press conference heard around the world by the referees. You have varying opinions on the state of that press conference, whether that's something that should have been done to start with. But going into the game, everyone's eyes were on the referee. How was the refereeing?
I thought the referee did okay. I mean, understandably so. He had some very big decisions to make, and it was controversial going into this matchup. Obviously, we saw the press conference and what happened previously the day before going into this game. So immediately the pressure was all on the referees, as you pointed out there, Stefano. But for me in particular, in this type of a matchup, it needs to not be on the referee
Agreed.
or the officials. It has to be on the players, and the head coaches are sitting on the sidelines. The performance in itself was an absolute spectacle.
Yes.
You got to say Barcelona, the job they did do in the first half was excellent. There was controversy, of course, with decisions makings in the second half. Should it or should it not been a penalty kick against Rafinha? I thought he got the decision right there. Yeah. We can talk all day long about what happened at the end of the game with Rudiger. To me, that is absolutely embarrassing from Rudiger. You cannot act when you are representing Real Madrid in such a way. Sometimes you lose control, and I think what happened in that press conference, what has been said on social media, gets back to the players, whether you like it or not. Social media is in their heads. Therefore, you see that type of a reaction from Rudiger, which is embarrassing for a club like Real Madrid. It's nowhere near good enough, and in many ways, for me, lack of discipline from Ancelotti's team has been clearly evident over the last 2 months.
Yeah, and just quickly before we move on, it's the refereeing in that press conference, in my opinion, probably should never have happened because it makes the story about the referees. But when fans see a player from this team react like that, that gives them a license to criticize and to go on social media and attack the referee and attack everybody else around the game. So it is on the players as well. The referees, whether they don't want to make it about themselves. Well, you did, but then the players kind of compound that and make it even worse when you react like that. It's unacceptable. It needs to be completely rid from our game.
Yeah, social media is not going away. Social media clearly makes a lot of money for a lot of important people out there. So therefore, it's here to stay. But at the same time, you can't feed social media. Right. This is exactly what the officials did do. And that bleeds into the stands. Therefore, the criticism and the eyes are all over you with every single decision that was made from the referee. I still say, though, it was very hard to criticize his performance with so much pressure, and even more pressure than would have been had he said nothing.
Right.
He would have gone into that game and put out a performance like that. We would have been celebrating this referee right now. What a performance. One of the best referees in La Liga. Now we're saying, job done. Yeah. Under immense pressure. But, I mean, realistically, we're talking about the referee when we should be talking about the spectacle.
And that's what I'm saying. Enough about the refereeing. I'm over that story. We need to talk about this Barcelona team because, man, what a performance it was. And it was a fantastic game all around. Real Madrid fought to the very end. You knew it was going to be easy in this match, as easy as it was maybe in the earlier matchups this season for Barcelona. Yeah. A 3-2 game that really had a little bit of everything, but this Barcelona side showed guts to grind it out, to figure out a way to level the game, and then get the winner late on.
Well, first 45 minutes, you'd have to say job well done from them. They were very, very good. I mean, Real Madrid had one shot in the first 45 minutes. They actually didn't get off the team bus. I think they were still worried about the press conference from the official. I thought the lineup they went in with was excellent. Obviously, Lamine Yamal was terrific in the matchup. Ferran Torres, he's been the cup striker so far. So, understandably, so no Lewandowski, but that's okay because that's what's been happening in Copa del Rey. Rafinha maybe could have done a little bit better in large phases of this game, largely quiet in the matchup, but still clearly evident that he wanted to get that victory. I think defensively, Cubarsí with the opportunity to break that down for Pedri to get the goal. That was class because that gave Pedri the opportunity. By the way, Pedri, one of the best midfielders, if not the best midfielder in world football right now. In La Liga alone, most times in possession won, 227. Most times possession won in midfield third, 143. Most accurate passes in the opposition's half with over 1,400 accurate passes. Best dribble success, joint most accurate through balls. This guy's everywhere. Yep. And he pretty much created that opening goal as well. Best midfielder in the world right now. He's absolutely class, and that set the way off for Barcelona in the first half.
It really did. They were dominant in that first half, and we said Real Madrid were lucky to just be down 1-0 at that point at halftime. All around, when you look at this Barcelona team, the treble chase is now truly on. They get the first one. What does this do for them moving forward now? We have the Champions League tie against Inter and the 4-point lead. By the way, remember, May 11th, we'll have El Clasico one more time. These two teams will be facing off in La Liga that very well could decide La Liga. What does this do for Barcelona as far as momentum is concerned and the emotions of winning their first trophy and now going for the treble?
Can I just say, job well done for Hansi Flick. He's been absolutely remarkable, and also getting that major trophy is going to feel so good. This is the guy who knows success, obviously, clearly has had success with the German national team, has had success with Bayern Munich. He was incredible that one season when he won every single competition that was going, and looks like he might potentially do a treble now with Barcelona. Certainly, that's what the Barca fans are out there hoping that he does. What he has done against Real Madrid is he has created this gulf, this gap in class and quality. Clearly a gulf in discipline as well. The difference of quality and professionalism between the two organizations, that's what I'm calling them right now. I'm not even calling them clubs. Barcelona kept quiet and focused on their business. They have been ridiculous. 12 goals in 3 games against Real Madrid. That is job well done from Hansi Flick. That is job well done from Barcelona. They look like they could go on and get yet again another El Clasico win and look like they're going to complete that treble as well when it comes to major trophies. Brilliant, because he's got every single player playing for him, playing in the style that he wants to play. He took Pedri off in this game, and I thought, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, best midfielder in the world, what are you doing, mate? These decisions are so questionable, but you forget that he's got a big game coming right around the corner. So, smart man, smart business, still managed to get the job done.
Yeah, that big game is on Wednesday in the Champions League semifinal, the first leg against Inter Milan. By the way, Inter Milan probably sitting at home saying, oh, you're playing 120 minutes? Great, let's watch. Let's watch this one. They'll love to have that. Quickly on Real Madrid, their season, obviously not exactly where we expect ever Real Madrid to be, and Carlo Ancelotti as well. They lose Copa del Rey. Their only chance now at a trophy is La Liga, and they sit 4 points behind this Barcelona side. And like we mentioned, they play one more time against them. What can you say about just this season for Real Madrid and how poorly it's gone?
Very good second half from Real Madrid, by the way. They got back into this game in a very big way. They created a ton of opportunities, were in large part the better side, even though they didn't have the majority of possession. They still had 12 shots in the second half, 7 of them on target. And obviously Kylian Mbappé got them back into this game. Tchouaméni off the set play was excellent. There's the vulnerability from Barcelona, but the quality from Real Madrid. Vinny Jr. largely missing in this game.
And he came out of the game as well. We were hearing it was because he had some physical issues, so he had to come out of this match as well. Mbappe did not start. As we saw, he came in for Rodrigo and obviously had a massive impact with his goal.
Mistakes, though. Mistakes have cost him. And I understand injuries to Vinny Jr., whatever it may be. I just think individual mistakes have really cost him. Obviously, Luka Modric came on the field and did very well. Pass across, and you would expect, obviously, the communication with Brahim Diaz to come towards the ball. Didn't happen. Koundé steps up and get the goal. Before that, you've got the goalkeeper, Courtois, coming into no man's land. Who's the one who's going to pay the price? It's not going to be the Real Madrid players. It's going to be that man down there who should go down in absolute history. They should build a statue outside the Bernabeu for what he has done for that football club. He's probably going to lose his job now. Why is he going to lose his job now? Because they got absolutely hooped out of the Champions League by Arsenal, and I mean banged out of the Champions League. They're 4 points behind Barcelona in La Liga, and now, by the way, they've just lost against their biggest rival in a Copa del Rey final. This has been nothing short of embarrassing for Real Madrid. Barcelona showing their class. Yes, we can celebrate them. They're doing things right under Hansi Flick, and there's clear momentum going forward to success. I can see the treble. That potentially is in their sights now. But for Real Madrid, where do you go from here? Are you going to fire Ancelotti now? I mean, a lot of those players need to have a good, strong look in the mirror because they've been nowhere near good enough to pull on that fabulous jersey. And I'm going to say, the end of the game was truly embarrassing. Yeah. Every single player who was criticising the referee felt like they had a right to do that. That's not okay. That's not a way you should be representing Real Madrid. But where does that come from? It seems to me like that comes from the top at Real Madrid. You're inspiring your players to be vocal when things don't go your way. It's like a bunch of babies who were crying at the end of that game, and I didn't like to see it. Nowhere near good enough, and they were poor. Between now, obviously, and the end of the season, all they can do is hope that Barca mess this up.
Yeah, and with Ancelotti, speaking of him again, it's tough. He's an absolute legend, and I kind of didn't have... I've been on the air for several days now saying that I disagree with the decision to likely let Ancelotti go and get sacked from this position, but after seeing this result and seeing the way that the team reacts, I'm starting to come around that, yeah, I think it might be the right decision to do. But even the sporting department needs to take a look in the mirror as well, because the back
100%.
line is not good. The midfield, by and large, is not good.
Yeah.
So they are going to have to make some changes to this squad.
Do you know
so
what,
it's not
though?
just all on Ancelotti.
Do you know what? We need to stop talking about Real Madrid. We need to be talking about Barcelona right now, because this is their moment. This might be one of the greatest seasons we have seen in Barcelona history. After where Hansi Flick started driving this bus, the mess he picked up on, and all of a sudden started to point it in the right direction. Of course, Xavi Hernandez deserves a bit of credit for what he's done, introducing youngsters and all of that. But not always right. They're playing away from the Camp Nou, they're playing in a different stadium, and yet putting together one of the most remarkable seasons we've ever seen in their history. So I think at some point we've got to stop talking about this mess that's happening at Real Madrid and celebrate the beauty of football. Glory, success, and trophies. Barcelona are winning right now. Who's going to stop them?
And with this squad, if you look at this squad, this is a squad that can continue on for years and years to come. We may be seeing a shift in power once again in La Liga with Barcelona back on top.
Lamine Yamal just dancing around with a saucy new haircut right there. I mean, they have got weapons. Rafinha's going to continue to get better.
Pedri.
You obviously want Lewandowski to come back and be healthy between now and the end of the season. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. But Ferran Torres, what a player he is, and remarkable season, double figures in La Liga for the first time in his career. Everything's going right, and they've got a goalkeeper who was on the beach 6 months ago, smoking cigarettes, relaxing, feet up. Might win the treble.
Yeah, and had a couple of massive saves in this match as well. What a performance from Barcelona. Congrats to them, Copa del Rey champions.